All right, so this is summer work 3, number 13. And you can see you have 3 equations, but they're not all in standard form. So the first thing I would do is put them all in standard form. So I would say, I'd take the 3a and I'd subtract it over. So I'd have minus 3a minus b minus c equals negative 25. And the same thing on the second one, I'd subtract the 5b, and I would line up my variables. So I have 6a minus 5b plus c equals 10. And the last one's already in standard form, so I have 2a plus b plus 3c equals 14. Now that I've done that, I can look at it and say, well, I want to eliminate a variable. So I can see very quickly that if I add those two, those c's are going to cancel out. So let's go ahead and add those two. So 6a minus 3a will give me a 3a. 5b minus b will give me a minus 6b. And c minus c, those c's will go out. And negative 25 plus 10 will give me a negative 15. So now I have my first equation that has 2 variables. Now I'm going to look at these 2 equations, or I could have looked at the first and the third. It doesn't really matter. I just have to look at 2 different equations, and I want to eliminate c. So I'm going to take these 2 right here, and I'm going to multiply this one here by negative 3, because that'll get rid of my c's. So if I take this one here and multiply it by negative 3, I will get negative 18a plus 15b minus 3c equals 30. Don't forget I have to multiply, negative 30. I have to multiply everybody by negative 3. I'm just going to rewrite the second equation down below. 2a plus b plus 3c equals 14. Now when I add these equations, I'll get negative 16a plus 16b. My 3's will cancel out. And I have negative 30 minus 14, so that'll be negative 16. All right, so now I have 2 equations and 2 variables. So I'm going to write this one right here. I'm going to get negative 16a plus 16b equals negative 16. Now, I can take a look at this equation and I can actually divide out a 16 and simplify the equation to negative a plus b equals negative 1. So that makes it a simpler equation to use. Now, I'm going to take a look at those 2 equations, and I'm going to take the second equation and I'm going to multiply it by 3 in order to get these a's to cancel out. So I'm going to rewrite this down here. Our first equation is 3a minus 6b equals negative 15. My second equation is negative 3a plus 3b equals negative 3. When I add those 2, now that goes out. I'm going to have negative 3b equals negative 18. So I can now see that b equals positive 6. 18, this is negative 18. Negative 18 divided by negative 3 is positive 6. Now that I have b, I can take that and plug it into this equation or this equation. It doesn't really matter. Maybe I'll plug it into this equation. It would be a little bit simpler. So I have negative a plus 6 equals negative 1. If I subtract 6, I'll have negative a equals negative 7. I'll have a equals 7. So now I know a is 7, b is 6. Now I can just go back to any one of my earlier equations, any one of these, and plug in the fact that I know a and b in order to get c. So I'm going to pick this equation here, I don't know why. So here I'm going to have 2 times a, which will be 14, plus b, which is 6, plus 3c equals 14. And so I have 20 plus 3c equals 14. If I subtract 20 from both sides, I'll have 3c equals negative 6, c equals negative 2. And so now I have my answer.